Yes, Zero to Hero. I'm super excited about that book because I've had tons and tons and tons and tons of people of all ages, all walks of life. Tell me, how do you get into action? Because action is one of those things that supersedes any language barrier. Sometimes I've done stand up, you guys do stand up, you guys do comedy. And sometimes if something is translated in another language than its native tongue, could lose the essence or the wittiness of the joke. Action is not like that. Action, you could understand it, period. Right. And I break it down just like I did with the first book. I break it down to the ABCs. This is why this will work in real life to protect your face, but it won't work because the camera can't see your face. So you got to cheat it a little low. Little things like that. I share little secrets from working with the Jackie Chan stunt team. And I also, aside from that, share a little secret that not many know of is how I became known as the action guy because my background is in comedy and drama. And then once upon a time in the early 2000s, I was cast to be a Power Ranger. And everything's good, everything's signed. Let's go. We're going to get toys made out of our faces and bodies and lights and all that kind of cool stuff. And then when I went there to get my visa on my passport, they said, we decided to recast you. They said, oh, what? And they're like, yeah, unfortunately, you're not black enough. And I said, what? I could get really dark. I could get as dark as this, right? It's the African in my blood. And I said, well, I mean, everything's signed, everything's good to go. I've got the script, everything's good. What do you mean? They're like, yeah, unfortunately, we're going to have to move forward with somebody else. And I said, that's fine. But the casting director said, Taz, what I've seen in this room, what I've seen you perform physically today is something we haven't seen happen in Canada for a very long time and probably won't happen for a very long time. So while you're still young, why don't you? We know you like your drama, we know you like your comedy, but you could always fall back on that when your body reaches a part and it can't push the way it does anymore. Why don't you milk the action for as long as you can, and then you can go and be a De Niro or Pacino or any Anthony Hopkins or anyone else you want after your action timeline comes to a close. And I said, oh, ding, and that's it. And ever since, I said, okay. And ever since that, people are like, oh, Taz, we've got a great script for you. It's action. I was like, anything else besides action? And then they're like, man, I really want to work with you, but I don't have an action script right now. I was like, hey, listen, I can cry and I can make you laugh and hello. And they're like, yeah, but it's not action. I was like, that's fine. So anyways, I talk about how I went from one thing and converted into the action guy at the very beginning of it. And I share a lot of secrets that will make you look great on camera, have you reach a level that is camera ready, establish trust and rhythm and flow with partners as well, because most of the time you're not going to be just fighting yourself. And I also added a few little nuggets in there that you would have to buy the book to find out.
Do you have a release date?
Yes, so it's already on pre-order
Gotcha.
for on Amazon, and it's going to be released October the 4th, I believe. I could be
Oh,
wrong.
nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Nice.
but it's or the 10th. It's the second Monday in October, so I think that's the 10th or the 8th, something like that. Entire ridiculous. Where's my calendar? I
I
don't
think
know.
it's the 11th. Pretty
Yeah,
sure it's the 11th.
I think it
And
might be the 13th. Well,
Somewhere around the 10th to the 13th, anywhere within that week.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, you can go and get a copy right now. And like I said, it's great. And I'm super happy too, because there's so many females that I know that are friends or come to know that want to get into action, that want to become the next Captain Marvel or Black Widow or Nikita or tons of stuff you could take from there and automatically, boom, everything you're going to be able to do unarmed, you could add a weapon and do with a weapon. So that's another beautiful thing is I teach you some of the stuff that are transferable You could take it, the same technique you use for a swing to cheat a hook or modify a real hook. Now you can put a dagger, a beer bottle, a baseball bat. You could use the exact same technique with a weapon now. Yeah. Yeah.
Taz, I know you've trained and you teach a lot of disciplines. What are all that? Can you remind us the disciplines that you're familiar and or have a belt in or accreditation in?
Yes. So my foundation was in karate, and I have a black belt fourth dan in karate. And then I got into Taekwondo for about 6 months, nothing really serious. From there, I got into Greco wrestling and boxing. And then I got into Kung Fu because I came across somebody called Bruce Lee and somebody called Jackie Chan that I was like, oh, that's amazing. I want to do that. And I also dabbled in all the different styles, the cranes, the snake, the panthers, the tigers, the dragons. And then from there, fast forward, I ended up doing an Afro-Brazilian martial arts called capoeira and parkour gymnastics in between as well. So
amazing. So
all in
the
all,
bottom line is don't mess with Taz because he can kill you dead 100 different ways.